Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time and have more fun, especially the have more fun part. I'm your host. I'm Paul Sanneman. I'm founder of Contractor Staffing Source, where we help contractors build great teams. Now I have Liza Hausman. I'll get your name right here, from Houzz, right? Everybody knows who Houzz is, right? We've all been to Houzz. We all have advertising on Houzz. So I was surprised when I went to the show that they were really into the software business. And I thought, I think I just did connected clients and contractors. I didn't know you did software that much. So Liza agreed to come to here and be on this podcast and explain sort of what they do now. Can you go for that, Liza?
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you having me on to talk about this. And it's a question we get all the time. And I think people always say, why did you go into the software business? And I think one of the things we realized is that, hey, we built this advertising program. We were helping deliver leads to contractors and lots of other professionals. But then what, right? How do we help them close the leads, right? Impress clients, take that lead all the way through from project to final payment, and really provide tools that go end to end and not only help contractors run their businesses
Right.
more easily and more productively, but also help them provide a great client experience to those folks that found them.
Okay. So what does your software do? I mean, everybody knows there's Builder-Trend, there's Co-Construct, which was bought by Builder-Trend, there's Procore, which is sort of architecturally friendly but expensive. There's JobTread, which started about 3 years ago and getting a lot of traction. A lot of people are leaving from Co-Construct to go to JobTread. So where do you fit into this landscape? And what does your software do compared to your competitors?
Yeah, I would say, those absolutely are our competitors, but we built it to be end to end. So understandably, there are a lot of larger companies that have different pieces of this, software puzzle in place, but we really wanted to build something that goes all the way from leads. So there's a CRM system, right, through to all the things that you need pre-project estimates, takeoffs, could be selections, mood boards, all the pieces that you need. Our 3D floor plan that allows you to quickly build 3D plans that help with the sales process, right? How do you, right? Folks always, right? Homeowners come to Houzz because it's hard to visualize that end result. So we're trying to give them better sales tools to help clients visualize that end result and convert them. So all the planning kind of pre-project pieces, and then also the project management pieces. So building that schedule, tasks, daily logs, online payments, all the pieces that you need to actually run the project productively, profitably, stay on schedule. And finally, the financial pieces, invoicing, change orders, purchase orders, online payments, budgeting, etc. And so it really is meant to be end to end, and not just end to end, but to keep the data from being siloed, right? Because all the pain points we would hear is I'm moving data from this Excel sheet to this other system, to this other system, right, to this accounting system. So, we've got QuickBooks Online integration, but the goal was to help all that data move, everything that you capture when you're working with a lead, convert it to a project, right? All the data moves with it, and to keep that data through the system and just make it super easy to not have to copy and paste software to software.
Now, traditionally, this is my opinion, is that most of the project management softwares, their CRM sort of sucks. No offense. I mean, it's like, there's HubSpot, there's Go High Level, there's a bunch of really people spend a whole lot of money developing CRMs, right? And my experience of most CRMs from the people that are project management systems, it's a bit of a bolt-on. And like Builder-Trend's been around a long time, so it's sort of antiquated. And they like now are having APIs that allow them to integrate with things like, HubSpot and Go High Level and some other ones. So how does your CRM work compared to some of these others?
I think the main thing is CRM was core to what we do because we started in advertising, right? So having CRM was important. It wasn't an afterthought. I will say we continued to add to it. So, what if folks ask for? They want lead screening forms. They want the ability to customize sources. So we have, I don't know, like 70 different lead sources that you can have, but you can also add your own. They want the CRM to be fully integrated into the process. So can you assign a lead to anyone on the team? Can you seamlessly create an estimate, take off all the things that you need pre-project? Can you put it into the stages that you need and set the stages you need depending on your particular sales process or the particular products that you sell. So we've really tried to make it super easy to use. I think our advantage is we've always had a great user experience. We've designed the software to be super easy to use, and we're a tech company, so we move very quickly. Our cycle for releasing things is, I think, every 2 weeks. So we take feedback constantly, and we're constantly improving.
Okay, so if I look at marketing, obviously you're a marketing company, which is a good thing, because most contractors don't understand marketing, and most software companies weren't developed as marketing companies. So you are a marketing company, which I think is a good thing. I try to convince most contractors that they're a marketing company funding their marketing with some kind of product or service, but I've sort of failed miserably over the years. But I still think that's true. So, you know, if you're a marketing company funding your marketing with sales or service, how does it work like compared to HubSpot or GoLevel, some of these other ones? Does it follow up emails? Does it have like a way of tracking everything? Do you have like, you can align a program on first, second, third, fourth emails? How does it compare to some of the more sophisticated CRM packages out there?
Got it. I would say we probably have a ways to go compared to a dedicated CRM package, but given how quickly we move, we'll catch up pretty quickly, and it's really going to be based on what our customers are asking for. Yes, leads can come in seamlessly, certainly through your Houzz program, but you can easily upload spreadsheets, however you want to pull them in. Super easy to use. We have actually built in email marketing. So, and that's based on, again, the contact leads that you have in there, right? Whatever list you're already managing, you don't have to upload a separate list, but we have beautiful an email marketing system that will allow you to do that kind of follow-up, send newsletters, whatever your relationship marketing plan is. So again, the goal is really to build everything in there so that you're not having to move your data from one system to another.
So a lot of people have decided, other companies are building a tech stack, right? So they got a friendly APIs. So they integrate with HubSpot, they integrate with a bunch of other companies that do stuff that have tech packages. They build a tech stack based on what's coming out there new and cool. Now, it sounds like you're trying to do the thing yourself versus being an API with all these other people. Is that true or not?
I would say there's a happy medium, right? So we're certainly trying to build a lot of it. I think in a lot of cases, we think there's a huge advantage. And it's the same thing we discovered on Houzz when you're on a single platform and the data moves seamlessly, that's the most successful plan. But, we're building integrations with, Google Docs, with Dropbox, we have QuickBooks Online integrations. So I think it's a question of where we think we can be best in class, and then where we think it really makes sense to plug in things that folks are using commonly. And we're definitely going to have some combination.
Okay. So how does your cost compare with your competitors? Just curious.
Yeah, I think we compare quite favorably with what's out there. And again, our goal really was to be, I don't think we're trying to be the lowest cost provider in any way. We're working with some very large companies, but we do want to make sure that folks are getting value for their money. And so we've got, plans really tailored to what companies actually need and the level of handholding they need, and the number of team members they have.
Well, obviously you've got an advantage because you've got how many contractors are on Houzz?
Oh, tens of thousands. Yes.
Because I remember it was interesting in the beginning when you're doing Houzz, you were on it whether you volunteered or not, right? But they just go in, they'd scrape all the databases and throw them on the Houzz, which is really cool. And so
no, we never scrape. No, everybody on their creating profile. You got to be kidding. No, but there's millions of pros on Houzz. Yeah.
I remember I said to a lot of clients that I've been with a lot of contractors, I said, you're already on Houzz. They go, I never signed up for Houzz. No, you're there. Trust me. They have all the contractors that are in your market, and you may not be published. I mean, you like have a thing there, but you're there someplace. And they go look in Houzz. Oh my God, I'm already there. I'm like, yeah, now why don't you take advantage of that? And why don't you actually put something in Houzz because you're at the bottom of the stack because you haven't done what's necessary.
Built out your profile.
Build out your profile. I mean, you got no profile. They somehow got you somehow because you're a contractor, so you're in there, which is cool on their part. But you don't have a profile. So in order to get placement and get on the first page, like Google, like anything else, you got to cooperate and give them all the stuff they need. So I spent a lot of time getting contractors to the front page of Houzz because they didn't know they were on it. And And then I said, and then there's the organic versus the pay. I said, if you put all that, you can do pretty well organically. I mean, it's sort of like Google. I mean, you're in a business to make money. I get it. But I would say Houzz has been favorable in letting organic work. They haven't just, taken all over and said, okay, unless you pay, you can't be here, which is cool. But obviously, if you pay, you get better placements. You can see because they're sponsored and unsponsored. So I think you've done a pretty, you've had pretty high integrity when it comes to taking the market, owning it, and letting people still get there organically.
Yeah, and that's always been the goal, right? Because we want it to be a good experience for that homeowner, right? And we want to make sure that they can see all the options out there.
Right.
And obviously we can feature those who are advertising, but if folks do great work and invest that time to build out their profile and put up photos, they absolutely, homeowners can find them.
I remember
well.
the key was reviews. I said, unless you have like 50 reviews, you're going to be lost. So like, I get guys that put literally hundreds of reviews on Houzz. I get to put posters, because they said, you want to be just like Google, you want to be on the first 2 pages when you're looking for a remodeling contractor, not page 79 that doesn't do any good. So, but I consider very fair in mixing organic and advertised. So I'll give you guys credit for that one. So now you're in now obviously you've got access to all these contractors because you've got a database that's unmatched, right? You know every contractor in the country. Do they get any kind of advantage on Houzz if they buy your software? You tie deals together, or is it totally separate?
Absolutely. In fact, those who have been advertising and advertise already have access to the software for no additional cost. So we really have tried to make it extremely favorable for those who've been great customers and loyal customers over the years. And we want them to do better, right? We want everyone to get even more value for what they're investing in the program. That's a huge goal.
So if you're already on Houzz and you're advertising on Houzz, the software doesn't cost anything?
Correct. You can go and use it right now and have full access.
Oh, that's cool. So how many people are on the software, if you can tell me? Can we guess?
We don't share that right now. Yes.
Okay, I'll say a lot.
A lot.
A lot. Right. We'll settle with a lot, right?
A lot.
A lot. So obviously you've got a marketing advantage over these other companies because you already have all these guys in your database, right? And you're already doing work with them. So, I mean, I assume you consider your major contender in this area pretty quickly, right? I would think.
That's the goal. I mean, I truly believe you have to walk the walk, right? The way that we really are going to win is to build a better product. And our focus kind of every day is to listen to the feedback we're getting from our customers and make change quickly. I mean, nobody's perfect out of the gate, right? Nobody's got, and the industry evolves as well. But, we really believe that we've got to deliver the value. It's not just that we've got this marketing advantage or that we already have these relationships. You have to build a better product and you have to be really customer focused. And that's really our focus.
What I've noticed, my client's biggest complaint about a lot of the software is customer service sort of sucks. I mean, they can't get anybody that really understands what they're doing. They've got a certain amount of CSRs that are like available or not available. So I'm sure you're going to give me your point of view, which is going to be obviously positive. How is your customer service? Because I see that's a real problem with a lot of CRMs. They can't get somebody. If they get somebody, it takes a week to fix stuff. It's been very frustrating for contractors in getting involved with web-based, project management, that they're used to doing things on spreadsheets, in their own thing, and they got control of their spreadsheet and they got control of their whatever. And when they give it away to a project management company, then they feel like they've lost control and they go, well, how do they do this? Well, we'll get back to you in a week or a day or 3 days or whatever. It's frustrating.
Yeah, no, I could totally see that. And we have definitely heard from our client base that having human help is mission critical, even though we've got video tutorials and certification programs and lots of things that people can do that are self-paced. But 100% we have human onboarding. If somebody wants to schedule training, that's absolutely 100% available. We can set that up over Zoom. If it's a company that's got specialized roles and they want to have a separate training for sales and a separate training for project management so that everybody's time is used wisely, we're happy to do that. And then we're trying to build everything in so it's convenient. So we do have really great human chat. So if you're in the tool and you're using something, you have a question at that moment about something you're doing at that moment, you can get within a minute or two an answer from our customer service team on live chat. we publish the phone number. And again, I think it's just about
Okay, the
making
question
the
I
time
have,
to
this
reach
is what I
out.
said, can you call on the phone and reach, because that's, contractors
Yes.
are a bit Luddites when it comes to technology, and they don't want to chat. They're not gonna, you know, they just, the average age of a contractor in construction is 45 plus,
Yep.
right? It's an aging workforce, and they're not really tech savvy. So they're used to picking up their phone, now they at least have a cell phone, and say, hey, it's not working. What do I do now? So can they get a real human being on the phone?
They 100% can during like regular business hours. You know, I'm not going to tell you that they can call
Right.
at midnight and get somebody on the phone. However, and I think this is, you know, a challenge for all companies, and kind of what I recommend, they should set up, if they're going to call by phone, they should schedule a time to go on Zoom so that the person helping them can see what they're doing, right? Because I think the hardest thing is, and why the live chat can sometimes be helpful, is because they can see exactly what you're doing. Is folks need to see what it is you're having trouble with, or go in and say, oh, you know, if you just click on this element of the drop down, or here's where that template is located, etc. But they kind of need to see what you're doing. So while you absolutely can pick up the phone, I definitely encourage folks to ask for,
Well,
you
I mean,
know,
the good
a
news is
Zoom
all
call.
contractors now use Zoom, which is a progress. I mean, they're all, they fought it, but now they pretty much, it's part of their life, and they all can get on Zoom and have a conversation, which didn't happen. I think the pandemic really helped that. You know,
It definitely helps. It accelerated
it
everybody.
forced people
Yes.
to do stuff they didn't want to do because they had to survive. And now I can talk to any contractor on Zoom, and he's good.
Yeah.
5 years ago, not so much. You had to call him on the phone, or you couldn't get him.
Yeah, no, you raise a good point, which is, you know, and my recommendation is that they should push to have a Zoom call, because it's much easier when someone can show you, especially when you're working in software, right? Versus just trying to explain it to you over the phone.
So what's your opinion on something? I've noticed this because I've been around for 40 years doing this. The construction is a highly fractionalized industry, right? There's like a zillion contractors out there, and it's never consolidated because there's, you know, like a bunch of herding cats. But what's happened, what I've noticed, is that, you know, just like retail got transformed by Walmart, and music got transformed by Spotify, and, you know, a mail order got transferred by Amazon, right? So everybody has their time. What I see happening, and maybe you can agree or disagree with this one, AI is having a huge influence. And I'm not talking about with the contractors. What's happening is AI is disrupting a lot of industry where capital easily goes, right? I mean, like education, law, a lot of those places, they could get millions from, you know, Sand Hill Road, or because those are good industries because they grow. Well, AI is disrupting all those industries. And so now, like, where's a safe haven for my money? Well, AI is not going to build roofs for a while, right? Or it's not going to like fix your plumbing. So what I see is a huge amount of capital coming in to the construction industry and doing all these roll-ups. I never saw that before because it's a safe place to put your money. I have one guy that had, I'm picking over 10, 20 million bucks. He said, I'm going to start a roofing company in Nebraska. And I went, why? He goes, well, look at it this way. Margins are killer. The competition, the old guys are retiring. Young guys don't have the cash to do anything. I can come in with 15 million. I can own that market in 3 years because I know marketing, I know recruiting, I know how to make a company work. It's like Walmart moving in, you know, for lack of a better term, down the street and knowing all how to do stuff. And they put the guys, you know, in town out of business because they're just better, faster, and cheaper. So what I see happening in construction is this is a trend that's happening, roll-up shopping like crazy, but I've never seen this much cash ever coming to construction. So does that make sense to you, or have you seen anything like that happening? Because you're in the middle of this industry.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, look, if it's going to bring more cash to our industry, that's great, right? We struggle to kind of bring the next generation of folks into the industry. So if this is going to help bring that next generation of folks into the industry, I think that's terrific, and I'm all for it. I think, you know, as you point out, where you don't have sort of a structured output like you do with law information, right? It's not an information industry, right? It's a physical, you know, physical projects and products industry where there's not a whole lot of standardization, right? Each project is unique.
So you can't, I mean, AI is not going to address that industry for a while, right? Where a lot of things will.
It's right. It's not going to take over, although, you know, we're certainly applying it. The goal is to use it to help productivity in general. So again, more money will come in if productivity goes up on top of that.
Right. But what I see happening, it could be the good news or the bad news, is that, you know, you're going to either, where there was 30 roofing companies, there's going to be 4, right? because they're going to come in and they're going to end up, they're going to put you out of business or buy you. I mean, that's my concern. And it's just in welcome to America, right? So as I see it, if people don't jump on the technology bandwagon, they're in trouble because it's never happened before. You used to get by with just doing a good job, answering the phone, and you're good. And you're a plumber, or pick one, right? But it's just like, how did CDs work out for the musicians? Not so well. I mean, and Walmart, let's fake it, percentage of market, it's huge. Amazon's huge. So I see this happening. Capital has never come into this industry in this level before. So I see contractors need to either get on board, get their marketing straight, get their recruiting straight, use best standards. You just can't get by with doing a job and answering the phone. I think that's going to go away.
Well, you're certainly not going to grow. You're not going to make the profit that you need to. And as you say, like when demand has been super strong, right? Sometimes folks can get away with that, right? But as the market fluctuates, right? I 100% agree. The folks that aren't able to keep up, aren't able to provide that great client experience. Right? As you said, the pandemic really accelerated technology adoption among contractors. Well, it raised the expectations of homeowners too. So clients really expect everything to be, right, on an app at their fingers and to be able to have visibility into everything that's going on. So, this is the time 100% to get your company to that
next
level.
Now when you want to find somebody, you go to your phone. I mean, that's it, right? And Google owns the market. I mean, and you own part of the market too. So you may ask your neighbor, but not really. You're going to look at reviews. You're going to try to find, people don't find contractors the way they used to. They find contractors on the internet, for better or worse. And if you don't have the expertise and the marketing to be on page one, you're in trouble. Unfortunately, it's true. And so I see, Houzz is a good thing in a way because it allows access to the small guys, which is great. You still have to pay for it, but Google, they just want to make money, and you get on the first page, you want to get on the first page, and they're trying to do a good job. I mean, they're trying to get people to the right people. Admittedly, that's their motive to serve the people that go on Google to find a good contractor. That's their motivation. I get that, but good.
Oh, go ahead.
So, but at the same time, it costs more and more to get on the front page, right? And you got to know SEO, you have to know marketing, it isn't just, answer the phone anymore. That's changing.
Yeah. Well, you have to make the most of what you have as well, right? That window you have to ensure that the customer is going to spend their time and money with you versus go and do something else is much smaller. We actually surveyed homeowners who were in the middle of a renovation project or were planning one or had completed one. And we said, what's the one thing that would have most improved your project experience? And so much of it was tied to technology. So it was better communication, right? I want to know when folks are going to be at the job site, and right, I need visibility into the schedule. It was like financial visibility. Hey, I need a place I can go and see where we are.
Right.
And I need better visualization of my finished project, right? That would have improved it. But then, we got lots of comments about just technology. I wish my contractor was more tech savvy, was a verbatim that we got.
And unfortunately, if the average age of the contractor is 45 and getting older, that's not good. And so, what does tech savvy mean? I mean, unfortunately, or fortunately, it means you're going to have to get into it or get out of business. It's sort of like, for lack of a better term, I don't know, musicians fighting streaming music. I mean, you're going to lose. And
well, so you're in the recruiting business, right? So the goal is to hire people, right, that are smarter than you, and
right. And I mean, that's why our business is growing. Same reason, because they don't know how to market, they don't know how to recruit, and so companies that know how to market and how to recruit win over companies that don't. It's just America business, right? And so a lot of contractors, that didn't matter that much before. I do a good job, I treat my clients well, I answer the phone. That was okay 5 years ago, but 5 years from now, unless you're a marketing company that has a way of getting awesome employees and do an amazing job, you may be in trouble. And I guess that's the good news about capitalism, I guess, right?
Yeah, and you got to look for employees that are, maybe a little younger and looking to take advantage of these tools. There's always somebody who's going to champion it.
Right. I mean, yeah, Home Depot is going into training people because nobody else did, right? I mean, it's crazy because they said, fine, we'll just teach people how to be electricians. Nobody else is doing it. So it's interesting. So, Liza, if people want to get, I mean, house is like a household word, no pun intended there. So, if they're interested in your software, learning more, how should they do that?
Sure. I mean, the easiest thing, if you go to houzz.com/pro, you'll see all kinds of information and an easy way to get directly in touch with our team of experts. They call an 800 number, however you want to reach out. Those options are there, but that's an easy way to just see what we have, get familiar with it, and then reach out when you're ready. But my email is also just Liza, Liza @houzz.com. And if anyone just wants to get connected to the right person or have questions, I'm personally happy to help make a connection.
Well,
Anything I can do.
At least you're not too corporate. They can at least find you, right?
They can definitely find me. I talk to a lot of folks every day. It's actually my favorite part of the job. I love our customers, and I love the construction industry. So it's fun.
Well, thanks for being here, Liza. I appreciate it. I would suggest, as things are changing, when you're considering software and, whether it's Buildertrend or Procore, there's a bunch of them out there. I think Houzz should be in the mix and, find the one that works best for you, but I definitely put them in the running. Thanks. I appreciate you being here, Liza.
Thank you.